Hi there, I'm Kelsey, owner and creator of Old Welcome Mercantile. Welcome in. We've been weaving wreaths since 2023 when we realized eradicating invasive kudzu vines could be turned into beautiful door decor. Until now, I've shared the finished pieces, but not how they're made. So this is me inviting you behind the scenes. Expect handmade wreaths, a few clumsy moments, and probably a laugh or two along the way. Let's get started. I'm gonna go pull these vines off of this tree. Now, this is the first time I've ever recorded myself doing this. I am not good at recording. I know this angle is probably horrible, and my daughters would have a fit to know that I wasn't navigating the camera right, but I don't think about selfie sticks or anything like that. You might be able to see me. I might fade away, but you might hear what's happening and kind of seeing the vines up the tree coming down. So I'm gonna leave this for now. Might need that to cut it from the bottom, but if you sometimes just tug, just be careful not to, oh, that one came right off. Vines. Be careful not to get a hold of like a dead branch. I hope you can still see me, but it is not, I am very accident prone. So I have to know my limits, which I'm not very good at. There are times where I would yank on a vine and I could see that there was some dead stuff after I started yanking. You probably want to look before. You know, if there's no greenery up there, there's nothing living. More than likely you're coming across a dead or almost dead tree, and pulling on those vines can create, you know, some just catastrophes that you do not want to be on the other end of. So use your best judgment and be cautious. Usually I have to get hurt and then I learn, so try to do the learning part first. You know, the best advice I can give you, don't be like me. I will more than likely fall once or twice on camera. I would promise you I will keep it as long as I'm not like severely injured or there's blood. Okay. I am a huge fan of Bill Dance. And so, here's our little guy here. And so him falling off of boats and things like that, to me, that's relatable, you know? I'm just one step away from a happy accident. A lot of stories that I could share where I was going too fast or just not paying attention, and I found myself in a little bit of a pickle. So just know I'm coming to you from a place of wisdom. I am still learning, but I've been down a road of hospital visits. You know, I'll share one with you. So in my other life, when I was a single mother, I decided that the income that I had at the time, well, I didn't decide, the economy decided this for me, but the income I had at the time was not getting my children the things they needed, and it was definitely not going to get my oldest through college. As I started crunching the numbers, I realized, oh, I've got to really get to cracking on putting money away, which was 16. So being your first child, you start learning as you go, right? So I opened a cleaning business, and I thought, okay, I can do this. You know, how's it? It's not gonna be that hard. You know, hire a couple people, you know, put your daughters to work, and it actually became lucrative. I got became a vendor through a property management company, and that's kind of where all of my money came from, was the doing just like the clean outs, like everything's already empty, people are moving out, so I'm just turning it over, getting other people in. Well, then I started doing junk removal. Junk removal was fun, right? Like, we would get in houses and there would be so many cool treasures that were just left behind, and you know, we would just have a blast. My son, one time we were doing a junk removal and he found like $200 worth of gift cards, and it was just like, I paid him with the $200 instead of having to go into my account. Actually, I didn't give him the whole $200 because I think he was like 10 at the time, and giving him 50 was a big deal. So and then I think I took the rest it was like Walmart gift cards, and I bought more cleaning supplies to go towards my company, because that's what you did when you were pinching pennies to get your kids through life, working 2 jobs, sometimes 3. So one time I said, you know, I'm going to do this junk removal by myself. I had hired a girl, but she was working a lot, and I just kind of gave her the week off because I thought, you know, I can't keep putting her to work like this, because we were just doing job after job after job, and we'd turn them over super quick, and then the next job would come in. And so I'll just do this myself. And I, you know, loaded up all the junk, took it to the scrap yard, and I was on the back of this was like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was on the back of the flatbed. What I would do is I would rent a truck from Home Depot for $20, as long as you had it within a time frame. So from like 7 to 12, or like 4 hours or whatever. And over that, you had to pay like $120. And so I had to move fast. So I was moving fast. I was getting stuff out the back of the U-Haul. I was just like, oh, let's do this. I was making great time. I was going to get the truck back, and I pull on this piece of furniture, and I fell off the back of the truck. It was rotten. I was going way too fast to really even notice. And I hit my head, and I had a concussion. And so later on I found that out. But I just remember this gentleman over me and saying, "Miss, are you okay?" And I said, "I have to have the truck back by 12. And he was just like, "You're bleeding." And we called the ambulance, and I'm like, no, because at the time, you know, I did have insurance, but it couldn't cover everything, and I had to pay for a ambulance bill, then then I had to do the ambulance ride, as well as my hospital bill. So a job that was going to give me like $400 ended up costing me like $5,000. So anyways, if it doesn't cost you your life, it'll cost you your paycheck for like years. So just be cautious of things that you do. Take it from me, my ADHD brain wants to do things super fast. ADHD, I have it, and I have been told it's like having this beautiful car that goes super, super fast, but it doesn't have any brakes. And that's how I lived my life up until my like late 20s. And I remember thinking, I'm going so fast, I cannot slow down. What is wrong with me? And I went in and I explained, I'm just having a hard time like organizing my life, and I go too fast and I miss things. And they said, well, let's do this. And they said, you definitely have ADHD. So there we go. It is a blessing and a curse. You can take it and make it a blessing, and you can use it to your advantage, or you can create really big problems for yourself. Don't create really big problems for yourself. Okay, so that took me 8 minutes. Chit chat took me 8 minutes, but this is my smaller wreath. See this? I started the base over there, and this is really cute. This would be perfect for like maybe even a table, or you know, Easter's coming, so you can make a little nest and put little eggs in it, or you can put it on your door. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes dainty is best. You want to continue following along. More vine. This is a little bit bigger than this one, so these little. And I mean, if I really wanted to get creative, I could wrap these two together as one big giant vine. But if it's heavy, sometimes people, I mean, eventually I dry and cure them and they become lighter, much, much, much lighter. But when you're first starting, you'll see like you don't want it. Some people like it skinny, right? Some people like them a little chunkier. And then I personally, I started making ovals, and those are so cool. They're just hard to manipulate and to like make them become the oval. So that takes another process. I also did some crosses, a little more difficult because you're more using a braiding method than you are just wrapping them around. So, all right, let's go to the next one to finish out this vine right here. Wreath, not vine. Okay. I found one, but I left my lobbers, so I have to go back. So I'm just gonna leave these two here and go back. So I went back to get my lobbers, and then I forgot. Oh, there they are. Listen, I have to keep my hair up usually, most of the time. It's super long, and we have these crazy, if you look that way, so that little kind of that, you know, more bushy area. A lot of that has, you know, we have those little stickers. Now I'm losing what they're called. Oh, they have stickers on them and I know what they are, but my brain has left the building right now. So, but as I'm going through and trying to find vines, I usually get them in my hair and they're basically stuck. I put this over here. And I have a very hard time getting them out. So I have to keep my hair up for all this. Oh, what are they called? I can't use the trusty ChatGPT. Oh, what are they called? What are they called? Holy cow, it's gone. Just, and I complain about them a lot. Now I can't even, so I have to keep my hair up. Super important. What are they called? Caesar weed. Caesar weed. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I am smarter than I look. Like that. Caesar weed has little stickers. They get everywhere. They get on your clothes. They're impossible to get out of stuff. But as long as we put stuff on that kind of repels it, I try not to wear pants, which creates, you know, ashy legs and scratches. But you know, can't be a wood nymph if you're not afraid to get a little bit banged up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. So this is a smaller one, but again, I'm looking up. This is a big tree. I believe I just pulled. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm also realizing that you guys don't know a lot about me. I am now a stay-at-home mom and wife. I have 4 beautiful children. One is 22. I also have so my first one is a girl. And then my firstborn, she's 22, girl, I had her very young. My second is also a girl, she's 16, and then I have a 15-year-old, and then I started all over again after being a single mom for a very long time. And, you know, we can go into all that later on down the road, but I have a 2-year-old, and what's happening right now is she's about to go down for a nap, so I'm out here, you know, Dad's watching her. He's wonderful with her, and he's, you know, letting me do the crazy wood nymph stuff so I can get ready for our first garden market show. He's been wonderful in encouraging me, but also keeping me to where I don't go absolutely nuts with this entire thing. I like a variety of projects. I like to just do just about anything. I want to be able to learn. Probably can't hear anything because there's a plane going on up ahead. Okay. But no, I like to learn. I'm a forever learner. A lot of things I do are self-taught. They may not be pretty, but they're, you know, they're something that I've put my heart and soul into. I do have a bad habit of doing something one time and then deciding that, you know, I'm going to try the next thing. This is something I think I've done now, gosh, a little over 2 years. I made my first one and I thought, wow, well, this is something I can do. But I never thought about selling them or making them into wreaths or for people or giving them away. I just thought it would be fun. So here we are. This is something I have continued to do. Oop, that broke. So when that happens, I just wrap it and place it inside. So right here, so see right here. So wrap it and then just kind of place it in there. And then keep going. Try to start at the same spot it broke because, you know, you want your wreath to be even. And this is something that anyone can do. I mean, okay, so maybe not everyone. It takes a little bit of exertion. So you are going to be walking through the woods, using your arms and, you know, your core muscles sometimes for... Hold on. This is what happens when I talk. Oh, found it. Wait. Yes. So it does take a little bit of effort. It's not like you're running a marathon, which I have not done. I have ran a 15K before. I do love to run. That's another thing about me. I'm a runner. I have put running on the back burner to do this market show and to do a little bit more creative outlets. But as far as, you know, exercise goes, this is exercise. This is walking through the woods, getting sunlight in your face, and really enjoying nature or your property if you have property. Sometimes during the winter time, which we're in the thick of it for Florida winter, it's easy to just want to hang out in the house and cozy up, but that activity is still so important, not only for your overall health, but I'm at my thing. I think I wanted to do 4 today. 4 is good. 4 is a good number. I like 4. Okay, well, thank you for this little adventure we took together. I am so glad you could join me. I don't know if I will ever edit this video, and I don't know if I'll ever release it into the wild. And you may not ever want to do it, and you might just depend on me to make one for you, and you come to my local markets or go on Etsy and pay to get them shipped. But these will turn into something beautiful. Either I will just sell the base or I will jazz it up for whatever occasion. I do have a lot of ladies send messages and they said I would like these kind of flowers, this kind of... I don't advertise that, but if they do send me a message and say, hey, I would like you to change things up a bit and give me what I want, I know the customer's always right, so why not? Well, I love y'all, and I'll be praying you will have a wonderful week, and stay tuned for more wood nymphing or whatever. I hope that's not derogatory. It might be. I gotta look that up. All right, take care. Bye-bye.